Happy Friday night everybody, welcome back. Tonight we are looking at Bngo. Bngo has actually seen a red week today. We can see that today completed the week and we are down by about 4.9%. So we are still down this week. It is not the best thing to see, and this does come after a month where Bngo has taken a rather large hit. Only 30 days ago we were at the price of about $13, and right now we are all the way down, but that down by about $4 we can see, and that has decreased the share price by a further 34%. The past 6 months have been quite volatile for this stock. We can see that from the highs now down by about 42%. But overall, even though the past week is red, if we had bought this one back on the dip where it was at highs of about $9 and held until now, we would be down only 1%. So of course not even a lot of move in that time. Furthermore, if you'd have bought this one at the absolute bottom of the dip and held until now, you would be up by 29% despite the past week being quite red. Well, I'm giving you all of my thoughts on Bngo and how we have been moving with this one in the past week in this very quick video. Do make sure to give it a like and of course subscribe to the channel if you have not already, because we talk about all different stocks all the time. Now that I've mentioned that though, let us jump into this one looking at Bngo. So we're going to start off on the interactive charts. We're going to type in for Bngo and of course look at how the candlesticks have been going with this stock. Right, so looking at Bngo in the past 5 days. Well, of course we have seen quite a lot of traction, but overall the motion is slowing down. We can see that on the 1-day candlestick charts, these candlesticks are becoming less and less prevalent, especially towards the downside. Now today's candlestick was still in the green, which is good, but of course it was pretty 50-50 mixed either way. Of course the wick towards the high side and the low side is pretty much as high as each other, so there was quite a high today and of course quite a low subsequently. But yeah, the stock hasn't been moving in a bad way, and I am happy with the fact that this week was actually leveling out towards the end, which again could indicate to good things for this stock. Now of course this is not guaranteed. We have seen patterns like this in the past where it does look like the share price is going to start to level out and then it does continue to plummet, but this time I do believe we definitely could be sitting stable in this around high $8 range towards the low $9 range. I've spoken about the fundamentals of Bngo many times before. I think this stock is a stock which is currently worth more than it is. I think this one could be sat at $20 by the end of year because I personally do believe in the fundamentals of the company. Now, of course, in the past week, we have had this article from Global Newswire, which talks about some of the conferences, which is good. We've spoken about these again in a previous video, so we're not going to go into too much depth about them, but I think that these conferences are good. I think these are interesting for investors, but I think ultimately one of the aims for them in the future, and of course, hear me out with this one, I think it could also be to attract institutional investors, because let's face it guys, we all know that is where the big money is, and that is where we need to see more investment from Bngo in my opinion. So I think this could have a long-term effect, and I think if this does carry on, it could be very good for the company. But again, we will have to see positive growth figures going forwards, and I absolutely do think that that is obtainable. But again, going back to the past month or so, we are still pulling ourselves out of that dip, which is fantastic, and I am very happy with where Bngo is right now. So the past week is still in the red, and I know that is by a rather small amount in relation to what we have previously seen, and for that reason I am not too worried. Again, the candlesticks look like they may be starting to turn themselves back around, so it is absolutely possible that we could see this one back in the green on Monday, and obviously we would all love to see that. So we will have to see what happens with Bngo, but ultimately I am not too concerned with how motion has been moving in the past week or so. I know it is still in the red, but of course it isn't by the largest amount as I have mentioned, and I think this is a good sign that this one could be picking itself back up. But overall, if you are buying Bngo, as I have said many times, I would be buying the dip every single time, as I think that the company is solid. That is only just my personal opinion though, so please make sure to bear that in mind and formulate your own conclusions, but I think that right now could be a very decent time to buy. Either way, I would wait until midday on the Monday just to see whether it does start to move up or whether it continues to move down and we could get this one at a better price. But please do tell me what you're doing with this stock down below. I do want to hear your opinions. Thank you for joining me tonight. I will see you all again soon. Have a wonderful evening. I will see you tomorrow.